Well, good morning. I think it's just morning, isn't it? Yeah, just morning. 20 past 11. Or 20, or I'm reading the clock backwards on my iPhone. I'm looking at the clock backwards. It must be about 20 to 12 then, must it? Yeah, 20 to 12. I'm reading it backwards. Excuse me, very cold this morning. I went out this morning. I had to nip down my local chapel about 5 minutes down the road, and it was freezing when I went out. Freezing. I do not approve. I do not approve. Anyway, the reason I'm here is, you remember a couple of videos ago I said I would probably like at some point to have a go at Rorke's Drift in 1879, you know, the Zulu campaign and all that. So to that end, I bought some British infantry. I got some Zulus here as well. Probably have a look at them in a separate video. But the British were by Perez and also by Warlord Games. And I said it would be nice to compare the two, Perez and Warlords, and see the relative pluses and minuses of each box. Well, the Warlord Games has finally got here, so pleased about that. Took a while to get here. I don't know why, delays in the post or something, I don't know. But I thought we'd have a look at both boxes. The price that I got them for on eBay was roughly comparable. A box of Warlords cost me 21 quid, well, all bar a penny. And the Perez cost me 19, so a couple of pounds cheaper for the Perez. So let's have a look at both boxes and we'll see the relative pluses and minuses. We'll start with the Warlords. So the postman sounds like the postman on my door. So anyway, the Warlord Games, usual sort of artwork on the box, and on the back it shows you the figures lined up. 24 figures in a box from Warlords. So let's open them up and see what we get. Packed for you by Mirella. Thank you, Mirella. Sounds like something you'd order in a restaurant or something, isn't it? I'll have a steak, Mirella, please. But anyway, thank you, Mirella. So you get 2, 3, 5, 6 brews and an information sheet. See if I can open this up a bit. Which will be interesting reading, and tells you their different facing colours, so you can paint them in whatever regiment you want with those facing colours. There you go, British Line Infantry. So let's have a look at the sprues. Seems to me, yeah, seems to me. Okay, so you get 6 sprues all totally identical. There is your sprue. So you have 2 figures standing and 2 figures kneeling. So from that you'll quickly deduce that you're going to have one row kneeling and one row standing. Okay. No running figures or anything like that. How many arms have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. So my first impression of this is not a lot of scope for variation of figure. They're all going to be pretty samey, shall I say. Alright, you can move the position of the arms somewhat, but they're all going to be relatively samey. The moulding is nice, the sculpting is nice. You get 2 extra heads per sprue. Head with a cap on it, like a forage cap, and one with a sort of flat hat, a guy with a beard. So that's it. Six sprues like that. That's what you can. Excuse me a second, that is somebody at the door. Well, sorry about that. That was the post lady. I know what that is. It's just filters. I bought myself an air purifier. Try and cut down on dust and stuff, because I sneeze a lot in here. And I've worked out by watching videos and stuff, if you get an air purifier, there's shut up. You get a lot of dust in the air and stuff, and it's good to get an air purifier and get all the dust out of the air, and it also helps keep the dust off the miniatures as well. So waiting for that to get here, but that's filters for that, so we don't need to open that. But that, we'll open that in a minute. That's toy soldiers, I'm sure. Anyway, getting back to, sorry for the distraction, getting back to the Warlord games, British. Sculpting is nice, moulding is nice, I don't have a problem with that. You know, there's virtually no flash on these figures. But my first impression is, with this set, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I can imagine making this set, I can imagine very quickly, if you want to build up a reasonable sized force of British to fight the Zulus, I can imagine very quickly you'll look elsewhere for figures. Because you can't keep building just these, because they're all going to be samey. You know, and it's no, there's no, doesn't seem to be a command figure, no bugler, no standard bearer. just 24 figures. Yeah, so my first impression of these is very disappointing. I'm very disappointed. There's not a lot of scope for variation of figure from what I see here. If you've got 6 sprues all like that, so I'm sorry, Mirella, but I am very disappointed. I mean, yeah, sculpting and moulding and all that, they're perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. Detail's nice, blah 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 blah. It's just a disappointing set. Just a disappointing set. So what we'll do is, I'll open the Perez box. We'll have a look at the Perez box. See if we can get a bit more joy out of the Perez. And bearing in mind these were £2 less. And in this box you get 38 figures and not 24. You get 38. Very similar sort of artwork on the box. And on the back it gives you an idea how to put the figure together, which is nice, and it shows you different ranks of figures as well. Private, captain, private, corporal. So you get some sort of commandy figures. That's nice. But you don't seem to get any command figures with the Warlord set. Right, so let's have a look. The usual stands, which nobody seems to use. So look at the paperwork. Similar sort of thing to the Warlords. You get a write-up on them, but you instantly see from this your flags. Brilliant. And it tells you about the sprue there as well, which is nice. Already, just by looking at this, without looking at the figures, it looks like a better set. Looks like a better set. Yeah, far better, far better. The sculpting is nice, the moulding is nice. Let's compare the two. That's the Perez. If I was to be honest, possibly, I mean, there's really not much in it detail wise and moulding wise. There really isn't much in it. But if I was going to say, I would say the Warlords was fractionally better moulding. But you're splitting hairs. But fractionally better. Then having said that, as you can see by this sprue, look at the, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures. That's all you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures in this sprue. Look at the amount of heads you get. Look at the amount of arms you get. The possibilities there, what you can do with these figures, is much better than the Warlord games. Much better. So how many sprues like this do we get? 1, 2, 3. Aha. Aha. 4, 5. You get 6 sprues like that, all the same. But you also get two sprues like that. So you get 2 casualties on the sprue. You get some command figures. Usual nice assortment of arms and stuff. You get a standard. An arm there with a pole on it for a standard bearer. And you get, which is a nice addition, you get a heliograph. Which, for those of you that don't know what a heliograph is, it's like a mirror on a tripod for sending signals via reflection. So that's very nice. That's very nice. There's the arm with the sword there for command figure. Swords there. And you get 2 of these sprues. So you get command figures, heliographs, casualty figures, standards. Everything you don't seem to get with the Warlord set. So that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah. Very nice indeed. And you're going to be left with a whole pile of heads and a whole pile of arms. So maybe I might use some of the arms left from the Perries on my second box of Warlords to vary them round. They should fit. They should fit. But a much, much better set from Perries. I gotta say, much better set. Little tiny bit of flash on some of the heads, I gotta say, a little bit flashy. I mean, nothing we can't remove, but a little bit flashier than the Warlords. And like I say, comparing the two, comparing the moulding of the two, it's just marginal. I'm splitting hairs, really splitting hairs, but I would think the Warlord's moulding is just minutely sharper. The details just tiny weeny bit sharper than the Perries, but really not much in it. And I'm going to be honest and say to you, if I was to recommend if I was to recommend which box to go for, I would instantly recommend the Perries, simply because of all the extras you get. You get, what was it, 38 figures, was it? Yeah, 38 figures as opposed to 24. You get command figures, you get standard bearers, heliographs, a couple of heliographs, much more scope for what you can do with the figures. There's more arms, more heads. I mean, There's no contest, really. It's a no contest. So yeah, I look forward to having a go at these. When we've got 5 minutes, what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the Zulus, see what they're like. There you can see that command figure with all the braiding on the jacket, all the fancy braiding on the jacket. Obviously an officer and a gentleman wearing all that gear. So yeah, very nice indeed, the Perry's box set. British Infantry, Zulu Wars, 1877 to 1881. Perry Miniatures, box set, very, very nice. Thumbs up. Warlord games, disappointing. Not a lot of scope for what you can do with the figures. Not a lot of extras, no command figure, doesn't seem to be any command figure. No standard bearer. Neither, I'm surprised, neither set has a bugler, which is a bit yes, tell a lie, I've just noticed in the Perry's, I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, you can just see that arm there with a bugle. So they've even put a bugler in there. Fantastic. It's the sort of set you want. It covers all the bases. So that's going to be nice. And like I say, probably what I'll do is the second box of Warlord, which is still in this cellophane. What's left over from the Perez, the arms and heads and stuff, I'll put on these. Just to try and vary them, jolly them up a bit, vary them around a bit, because I can envisage, sort of if you were just using them, you'd have a whole load of units, all very samey. That's why I say to you, I'm adding the 135 to the 132 World War II, because the Airfix 132, you get like 8 poses, and then that's it. And it's all very samey after that. You can buy box after box of them, and they're all very samey. So to have variety, I thought I'd add the 135, Mortar Crews and Panzerfausts and all this stuff. So I like variety and things. I don't like all samey. And I can imagine you could quickly get a bit sort of tired of them, and you start looking elsewhere for figures, for something different, for variety, and Perry Miniatures does very well. So I like that very much. So I'll quickly open this other box a minute, so I'll show you what's in there. Yeah, thumbs up to Perry Miniatures, Zulu Wars British. Very good, very nice set. Warlord games, very disappointing. But I mean, I'll make them, I'll do them at some point. And I'm sure they will look quite reasonable when they're done, the Warlord Games figures. But just disappointing, you know, no command figure, come on. Oh, that's nice. A thank you from Creative Models. Let's hear it for Creative Models. Always very good when I order from them, they're always very good. So, thumbs up for Creative Models. German Tank Crew Africa Corps. quite nice. Mini Art do some nice kits. So I'm thinking ahead again to World War II, which is around the corner, just after we finish the Napoleonics. We'll have a go World War II. So this is a new one I hadn't seen before, so I thought I'd have a crack at these. Royal Engineers, mine detecting. Very nice. And what I did like very much is a German checkpoint. Interesting to see how I coat painting the stripes on the sentry box. Well, that's very nice. Get the lid off it, see if we can have a quick peep inside. Yeah, very nice looking indeed. Very detailed kit by the looking at it. Yeah. And the usual instruction sheet with the painting guide on the back. You get the sandbag, you get the sandbags with it. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. A very nice kit. So I look forward, when we've got time, to having a go at that. So I'll have to find some appropriate figures to go with it for sentry duty. But these companies now, not only Mini Art, but Masterbox and ICM and Dragon and all these type of things, they're producing some very, very nice kits now. 1/35 scale for like World War II and stuff. There really isn't anything you can't get. If you said, I wanted so and so and so and so to do so and so diorama or scenario, there's nothing really you can't seem to get now. It's fantastic, the variety of stuff that's out there. The only thing I can't, tell you the only thing I can't get that I want, and I can't seem to get it, and that's a box of the 135 German Fallschirmjäger by Zvezda. They're like rocking horse shit they get. I can't get one for love nor money. I want a box of them. But there you go, that's very nice, very nice. So I'm going to go and leave you in peace now. I'm going to get on with these French Grenadiers and have a cup of tea and so on and so forth. Usual rules apply, you know. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all your comments. Happy New Year, be careful, stay safe. It's a strange world. I see now there's another variant come along in France. So we'll see you on the next one.